Shall we begin?
Why would a good God allow suffering to exist? Does God really exist?
Let's begin now.
Why did God command the deaths of so many people in the Bible? Why does God remain so hidden?
Let's begin now.
Welcome to the Third Degree. My name is Sule Prince and I'm here with Dr. Tony Costa. Dr. Costa, critics argue that only the Gospel of Matthew and the Gospel of Luke mention the story of the virgin birth, whereas Mark and the Gospel of John know nothing about it. Does this mean that not all Christians believe Jesus was born of a virgin mother?
Well, that's a common criticism that is tossed around, but the problem with it is that it suffers from a serious logical fallacy, and it's called the argument from silence. And it's assuming that just because an author does not mention a certain event in the life of Jesus, that person was ignorant of that. And so I think that the problem here is that we tend to underestimate these writers, and we assume that because they don't mention something, it doesn't mean they didn't believe in it. And that, of course, is fallacious because it doesn't prove anything, it just proves silence. But we do have indirect evidence in the Gospel of Mark and John that the virgin birth of Jesus was recognized. So in the Gospel of Mark, for instance, in chapter 6, verse 3, Jesus is in Nazareth, and the people there take offense at him. He's in Nazareth, he's speaking in the synagogue, and then they say, "Is this not Jesus, the son of Mary, and his brothers?" And they mention the four brothers and his sisters. Now, what is interesting about Mark's phraseology there in Mark 6, verse 3, is he refers to Jesus as the son of Mary. And the reason why this is very unusual is because Jews always refer to people by their fathers, son of John, son of Barjona, Barjona meaning son of Jonah, and so forth. In other words, Jesus would have been legally called, in his language, he would have been called Yeshua Bar Yosef, Jesus the son of Joseph, which he is in Matthew 13, verse 55. But in Mark 6, verse 3, he's called the son of Mary, which is very, very unusual. And what that meant in the first century setting is that when you were named after your mother, what that meant was your legitimacy was in question. And so the fact that they refer to him as the son of Mary seems to indicate that the people in Nazareth were familiar with this story of his conception, that it was something unusual, out of the ordinary. And so if you wanted to refer to someone as an illegitimate person, you would refer to them as the son of their mother, indicating that their father was unknown. In the Gospel of John, chapter 8, Jesus has this debate with these Jews. And the debate surrounds the question of paternity. And there's one point where they actually say to Jesus, "We were not born out of sexual immorality." There's a bit of a tongue-in-cheek there, that we were not born out of fornication like you. Okay. And they end up referring to Jesus as a Samaritan. Now, we also know that in the first century, when a Jewish person called another Jewish person a Samaritan, Samaritans were considered illegitimate. They were not considered, because the Samaritans were partly Jewish, but the Samaritans originated from the Assyrian invasion of the northern kingdom of Israel in 722. And the intermarriage between the Assyrians and the Israelites brought about this people called the Samaritans. And because of that great sin of this intermarriage between pagans and Israelites, they would refer to someone as illegitimate by calling them a Samaritan. And so in the Gospel of John, there's a reason why they referred to him as a Samaritan, and also as demon-possessed, because the idea was that illegitimate kids, because they were not under the blessing of God, would be subject to demonic possession. Mm-hmm. So there's evidence within the Gospel of John that yes, there is an understanding that Jesus was born of the Virgin, and also in Mark as well. So once again, an argument from silence simply provides silence, and all that silence gives you is silence. and therefore we have to read between the lines when we look at the other Gospels.
Thank you for watching this video. If you like what you see, please press the subscribe button right below. And beside that is the bell icon. If you want to receive all of our notifications of everything that we do, press that icon as well. Thank you.